Meteorologist.
Meteorologists say its big threat now is rain.
Vocation.
That was Steve's job, his vocation.
Crevice.
These crevices in South Africa contain the highest density of lizards in the world.
Trial.
You're on trial for first-degree murder.
Contest.
You've won second prize in a beauty contest.
Recognize.
We recognize our friends' faces.
Split.
People were split on whether this is relaxing or stressful.
Counteract.
Well, the process of growing the plants counteracts this release of carbon dioxide.
Validity.
Remember that some countries do not accept passports which have less than 6 months validity remaining.
Receiver.
And then I tried to find a payphone, and the receiver was cut off, so...
Facility.
Are there any fitness facilities near where you live?
Infection.
The numbers are kept small to limit the risk of infection.
Crater.
At the bottom of the volcano's crater is a boiling lake of lava.
Balcony.
I can still see him smoking on the balcony.
Strike.
His face struck the rocks directly.
Chunk.
Good ratio of hot dog chunks to spaghetti.
Sack.
Instead, they have a system of tubes and sacs through which air may pass or be pumped.
Scratch.
When you have an itch, you scratch it.
Vaccine.
She's injecting them with the virus to see if her vaccine is working.
Paramount.
Your help is paramount to our success.
Version.
We have a few versions of a song.
Aesthetic.
It's these aesthetic qualities that have drawn so many artists to use water as a subject.
Provincialism.
Above all, the Prado has shed its provincialism. It was very introverted, says Mr. Falomir, an expert on Titian.
Sharply.
Out! He said sharply. Get out!
Colonize.
In 1870, only 10% of Africa was colonized.
Extrinsic.
Instead, they're more motivated by extrinsic rewards.
Authorize.
$1.3 billion was authorized by Congress.
Margin.
Most students write questions or short notes in the margins.
Disadvantage.
The only real disadvantage is that winter can be seriously cold.
Surplus.
There's no shortage or surplus.
Harmonic.
Or, if many people are singing, like 5 people are singing, we say that their voices are harmonic together.
Saturn.
Saturn is the planet with the rings.
Acoustic.
The acoustic features are also similar.
Disprove. Well, theories are meant to be disproved.
Mosaic.
While these look like paintings, they're actually intricate mosaics.
Insert.
Now, you're going to insert the flash drive into the USB port.
Aloof.
Women love mystery, buddy. You gotta be aloof. Promise me that you will stay away.
Simulate.
But I can simulate interest in your statements.
Funding.
And do they get funding for their experiments?
Persuasive.
You also must refuse my wife. She's very persuasive.
Render.
You've been rendered speechless by fear.
Influenza.
6 months later, he was dead of influenza.
Advanced.
It is the most advanced iPhone we've ever created.
Destruction.
Earthquakes are a horrific force of destruction.
Depot.
Each depot had a lot of food.
Romantic.
They're in a romantic relationship.
Tycoon.
Jacques Lebeau, real estate tycoon, friend of the mayor.
Justice.
The law means nothing without justice.
Panel.
Each application is reviewed by a panel of experts.
Guilty.
And I began to feel guilty about the lion that I had killed.
Decipher.
He used his computer to help decipher the message.
Cushion.
Where'd you find that? In your sofa seat cushion?
Microorganism.
The report notes that microorganisms are the biggest threat to healthy drinking water.
Awful.
This guy smells awful. Like bad food.
Surgery.
One of his patients died during surgery.
Impact.
Humans have always had an impact on their environment.
Crustacean.
This spider crab is a crustacean.
Obtain.
He argued that all knowledge is obtained through experience.
Respondent.
And finally, there were 600 respondents in that poll.
Particular.
She had come to ask me a particular question.
Newsprint.
Prose just lays there like spilled ink on newsprint.
Gregarious.
My gregarious sister makes friends wherever she goes.
Chafe.
The rope chafed his wrists raw and seemed to grow tighter as the night wore on.
Lizard.
Lizards are desert specialists.
Manner.
In a hurried manner, he began to ask how she was feeling.
Artifact.
On one hand, it's now just antique china. On the other, a unique historical artifact.
Crystal.
Frost are ice crystals on a frozen surface.
Gravel.
She felt the dust and gravel in her slippers hurting her feet.
String.
Let's tie our legs together with a string.
Panorama.
From up here, you also get a wonderful panorama of the city.
Unparalleled.
His genius was unparalleled, Sean.
Suspend.
Besides, your license is suspended, isn't it?
Afflict.
I'm afflicted with low EQ.
Stripe.
Zebras have got black and white stripes.
Clay.
Grab some clay, we're making vases.
Comment.
Leave a comment, and I will see you in the next video.
Scholarship.
I get really good grades. I'm on a scholarship.
Patch.
The male has a red patch on his neck.
Restrict.
The rules will restrict speeds to 25 kilometers an hour.
Accurate.
The tests are never 100% accurate.
Comprise.
This firm is entirely comprised of people your age, not mine.
Enzyme.
That's the enzyme that breaks down milk sugars for easy digestion.
Sumptuous.
Many of its most sumptuous furnishings are in Buckingham Palace today.
Allegiance.
The oath of office I take today is an oath of allegiance to all Americans.
Invasion.
The Great Wall was built to protect the Han Chinese from invasion.
Cabinet.
The President called a cabinet meeting to discuss what should be done.
Hover.
I see that an eagle hovers over you.
Accuracy.
They have a 96.6% degree of accuracy.
Expire.
You don't have a car, and your license expired.
Gasoline.
Investigators suspect gasoline was used to start the fire.
Diminish.
The sun's influence diminishes and the ocean starts to freeze.
Angular.
I see her as a very attractive, wondrous, kind of very angular, slim person.
Immense.
But this tree grew to 90 feet. It was immense.
Owl.
These owls don't build their own homes.
Percussion.
What kind of musician?
Percussion instruments are my speciality.
Crooked.
I'm not sure about the hat. Is it supposed to look crooked?
Stratum.
The stratum lucidum isn't present in thin skin.
Instead.
I wanted to see the circus instead of going to school.
Populate.
We live in a world populated by angels and demons.
Ambitious.
He was a very ambitious and greedy man.